Obviously, you're able to compensate it with the passing game and even the short passing game in
Sure.
those kind of short yardage situations. But how important is it to actually just get the run game, truly run game going?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays the run game, comes in different shapes and sizes, and a lot of it, the quarterback is doing some reading, so a lot of times the ball goes to the outside. So we had 33 called runs on Saturday, and a lot of them got thrown to the outside. So obviously, at the end of the day, you look at the total yardage and the total points and everything like that. Look at it as a whole, and so obviously we got to do a better job situationally in the red zone and on short yardage. But overall, if they put a lot of guys in the box, there's some RPOs and different reliefs on a lot of plays that we're doing a nice job with. So I think we got to play better situationally, but I think we're doing a good job spreading the field.
And in terms of the short yardage stuff, 3rd and 1, those kind of plays,
Yeah.
when you try to run it, I mean, on the 4th and 1, there was no room for JK
Yeah.
at all. So can you pinpoint what's going on those kind of plays?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, I think statistically still on third down, we're doing pretty good overall, and a couple of times we've got stopped this year. So we just got to keep looking at it, keep trying to figure out what gives us the best chance.
Ryan, when you're doing that RPO stuff and Dwayne's either counting guys or just
Yeah.
reading somebody, are there ever times where he pulls it and makes a throw and it's a successful play, but you also had a look where you could have ran the ball?
Yeah, for sure.
And you think, well, maybe it would have been better to run the ball there as we're trying to get something going?
Yeah, sometimes it's 50-50. You're reading an overhang, and if you give it, you'll do okay. If you throw it, you do okay as well. So, but you got to live with it. You got to be decisive. That's the thing. We always tell the quarterbacks, be decisive with your decision and go with it from there.
And how do you think overall Dwayne has handled making those decisions on the fly within the game, whether to pull it or throw it?
Good so far. Yeah.
How would you assess the way the line's playing right now?
The line's doing a great. I mean, a lot of it, again, it's the whole package to me, and protection and running the ball and everything like that. So obviously, week to week, we're always looking to make, enhancing the things we're doing well and fixing the things that we don't feel like we're doing a great job with. So, but we do that every week, and so overall, I think they're solid.
Hey Ryan, when you look at the wide receivers as a whole, have you seen major growth from them this year?
The receivers?
Yeah.
Yeah. These are guys that have put a lot of work into the program, and there's a lot of depth and some camaraderie there. I think that goes without saying. 3 captains in that group, so a ton of leadership. But I've really been given the opportunity to go make some plays this year, and they've capitalized on it. And again, nothing's perfect. We're still working on it, and still got a long way to go here. We're midway through this thing, but proud of the way they've gone so far. But excited about what to see for the rest of the season too.
A lot of times, I don't know, when athletes get to a certain level, junior, 4th year juniors, 5th year seniors.
Yep.
I don't know. Is there such thing as kind of being what you're going to be at a certain point once you've been in a college program for a certain point of time, a certain amount of time, and have these guys broken through another level? A lot of these, 4th, 5th year guys that maybe isn't typical from a guy who's been in a program for 4 or 5 years?
I think a lot of situations are different. Some guys have great potential, and it takes a while to get there. Other guys kind of top out. So I think every case is its own story. But I do think there's been some great improvement, and guys have really stepped their game up. I still think there's still room for improvement for a lot of guys. I think their ceiling is high because these guys who work hard, they learn the game. They work at the game. This isn't a group of guys that just goes out there and throws their helmet out there, and they study coverages, they study leverage, they understand what's going on. And so I think there's still some great improvement we can make in the whole passing game. Like for instance, we go into this week, a lot of studying of the coverages. Is it zone? Is it man? The different leverages we're getting, the matchups. And so and we talk all the time about the guys at the highest level of college football in the NFL. That's what makes them great.
Ryan, when we ask questions about the line maybe not playing as well or the rushing attack or whatever, is that weird to you guys at all when you're putting up 46 points a game and 560 yards of offense? Like, do you ever want to just ask us what's wrong with us? We don't see the results there?
Well, like I did say, I said, it's a good problem to have when you're putting up that type of production and we still don't feel like you've maxed out yet. And I think that's a good thing, though, because we're still hungry. We're still trying to figure out how we can maximize everybody on the field. Yet when you look at it, I think, statistically we're still ranked pretty high in a lot of different categories, and I think one of the more explosive offenses in all of college football right now. So that's a good thing, but we're still hungry to get better.
So you guys still see that as well, that there is room for this offense and not satisfied with what you've done?
No, never satisfied. No. And again, like coming out of last week, what are we looking at? Situational. Short yardage, red zone. We go down there and capitalize. Again, could have been one of the better days we had around here. So, that kind of one of those things we got to make sure we're continuing to do what we're doing because there's a lot of great things there, but then enhancing that and then also improving and fixing the problems.
You were asked about that 4th and 1. The one that stuck out to me was the 3rd and 2 where Dwayne scrambled. It looked like maybe the coverage forced him to go. He didn't look comfortable running. What happened there? What would you like to see transpire?
Yeah, on the one going to our right, like on the
Going to the right,
35-yard line. We checked the play, and they did a nice job on defense. They checked the cover 2 to a pass, and so schematically they kind of got us on that one. And then Dwayne tried to scramble and get us to either 4th and 1 or something like that. We say in those situations, just keep us on schedule or get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. So he did that, which got us to the 4th down, and we ended up getting that 4th down. So that was well done because he didn't have a place to throw the ball there.
Gotcha.
Ryan, you guys, your H-backs, your slots, I mean, KJ and Harris are pretty big guys. A guy like Rondale Moore, some of these other guys in the Big Ten, they're smaller, quick guys. You guys have big, quick guys. Is there anything about having a bigger slot guy maybe for blocking or anything else in this offense? Or like would a 5'9" slot dude be fine here?
Yeah, it's funny. I think when you look at slot guys, there's a couple things. If they're quick and fast and they can move really well in short areas, then there's certain things they can do well. If there's bigger guys that can block and are more powerful inside, they do a little bit better job like down the field on post routes or seam routes or bigger targets. And so I think it's just, whoever you have is trying to utilize what you have. And I think when you look back on the last 10 to 15 years, the bigger guys in the slot that are bigger targets down the field, those are one style. But then there's also the guys like the Patriots have, those little guys that jiggle all over the place and make plays and create matchup problems for linebackers. And the thing of our guys kind of have a little bit of both. They have good size, but they also have great quickness. So that creates a matchup problem, I think, for defenses.
Well, did anyone ask about red zone yet? Did we already do red zone? Okay.
Well, I just talked about how situationally we got to improve.
Like, do you, as a play caller in general, is it like, okay, we're in the red zone, here come our red zone plays, or how much do you try to do what you do, and how much do you change?
Yeah, most of it has already been decided. So you go to your red zone package, which that week you've looked at the tendencies of the defense and the things that we do well, matchups, schematics, and things like that, and usually go to your red zone script from there. We break it up: high red zone, low red zone, and goal line, and you go from there. There's other things that maybe in the game that are hot that you're kind of going to, or maybe a receiver that's hot. But for the most part, those decisions are made on Wednesday or Thursday.
Your numbers, just like, I think scoring from the 40 on in, you guys are really good in the country. And then scoring from the 20 and the 10 on in, you're not as ranked as high. When you look at what you've done in the red zone so far, does it feel like, we've called some good plays and we just didn't execute some things that were there? Or did you feel like, oh man, I don't know, we want to try some different stuff?
A little bit of both. Yeah, a little bit. We've had some drops, a couple well-designed plays that we didn't execute for one reason or another. A couple runs that didn't work. So a little bit of both, execution, but also scheme.
Ryan, when you guys are talk about this a little bit, when you're running out of the shotgun or you don't have the quarterback run threat, what's the challenge, I guess, formationally to align in a way that the defense just can't automatically go opposite the halfback or go to wherever the tight end is? And how have you guys tried to work through that, I guess, through these first couple of games?
Throughout football, there's a lot of offenses that are that way, and so we just make sure that we design a play where the extra guy is read or handled one way or another. Either we're running away from him, we're play actioning them, or we're reading them, and so we try to design it that way where, based on the defense that we're getting, we try to figure out who the unblocked defender is, and if he's down in the box, that allows us to throw the ball down the field, which we've done pretty well, and so. When they take that guy out and start to play some more coverage, that's where it opens up the run game.
And you guys, toward the end of the game the other day, seemed to have some success when you put both tight ends out there. I think they were on opposite sides of the formation.
Yeah.
So what does that give you? What does that present to defense when you're doing that?
Just another surface. We call them three-man surfaces where you have, the guard, the tackle, and the tight end, and then, either the tight end's there as the fourth man, or there's a three-man surface on the other side. So it gives you a little broader surface there. Kind of cover them up a little better.
Ryan, maybe you were already asked this. What just jumps out at you as far as this Purdue defense is concerned? Because I believe right now they're sitting on more picks than there are touchdowns allowed.
Sure. Yeah, they're aggressive. They play a lot of defense. They come with a lot of pressure, and they try to create chaos. So at some point they're going to get through, and they're going to try to create chaos. And you can't ruin the game on maybe a play that didn't go well. And you have to manage those situations as a quarterback. And and not ruin the game. And there's going to be plays that don't go well, and you got to make sure you cut your losses and don't create turnovers, because they feed on that. They try to create chaos and create turnovers.
You see that defense presenting those kinds of challenges for Dwayne in Zone 6?
Yeah,
upcoming
yeah,
weekend?
absolutely, yeah. It's going to be a great atmosphere, and we know we're going to get their best shot. So we got our hands full.
Ryan, did this team in 2015 use JT as a red zone quarterback when Cardale was the starter? Is there any possibility that Tate in the red zone could help this team?
Yeah, well, we're looking at all options for sure, and we'll game plan that tomorrow and figure out what gives us the best chance again this week. Really look at what they're doing down there and try to figure out personnel-wise what gives us the best chance.
Is there any reason you guys used Tate in those series a couple games early and he hasn't played lately?
No. I mean, it was one of those things we planned to play him early, and if the situation presents itself again, we will another time.
Coach, thank you very
Yep,
much.
no problem.
Appreciate it.
Yep.